Justice I.R. Mina Kiri. The commission also the former chairman of Eleme local government Barilumate Olo, current chairman Brain Goba, current chairman of Emoha David Omereji, current chairman of Kana Martins Wibo, current and immediate chairman of Abua Odwa, chairman of Obiabo Chijoke Humo, as well as current and immediate executive chairman of Ahoda West local government area. About 80 other persons from 7 local government areas were also summoned by the commission. Recall that the Commission of Inquiry visited the Iwere, Obiabo, Eleme and Emoha local government areas to ascertain the level of damage at the affected council secretariat. Meanwhile, the Chancellor of the International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights, Jackson Omenazo, says he doubts if the outcome of the Judicial Commission inquiry will be implemented. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu, Dr. Omenazo advised against coming up with what he called unimplementable white paper.
Enforcing the outcome is another thing. Because several registers of inquiry have been set up in the state. But from my records, the enforcement of those outcome of those registers of inquiry have not been clinical. Well, so far so good. There is a commission established by law. They have the statutory right to do their job and come up with their findings. And then they should engage possibly the civil society organizations for authentication of their evidences. And then they can go for prosecution if the law empowers them to prosecute. But what I am against is coming up with a white paper that is not implemented. That's a waste of public resources.
Dr. Omenazo also called for the setting up of Rivers State Human Rights Commission to tackle all human cases instead of setting up a commission of inquiry to tackle selected matters. In the meantime, a former council chairman of Rivers State, Philip Obaraji, says the lawsuit instituted by the chieftain of the APC, Tony Okocha, seeking to stop funds allocation to local government councils will stall development in the state. Ms. Obaraji made this known while speaking on Nigeria FM's Morning Crossfire today.
I think the APC in Rivers State are in total state of confusion. The faction belonging to Tony Okocha. Because if you look at it, you never participated in the election. Why are you going to court? You say you want to protect the right of APC to the local government. What right? The other faction by Emeka Beke took part in the election. Your national said APC never. So what are you going there for? But let me say it. I think it is time for we, the people of Rivers State, to rise up. Because we don't need all this confusion by Tony Okocha to drag Rivers State back. The essence of what they are doing is to drag Rivers State back.
Mr. Obaraji also said no court order has been issued against the local government elections. He said elected chairpersons deserve the opportunity to lead their communities.
There was no order against the conduct of the local government election. If there is any order and Rivers State or anybody violated that order, what they should do, what Tony Okocha is expected to do, is to file a contempt proceeding against those who disobey that court order. But there was no court order. We shall allow the elected chairman to bring governance to the grassroots people. It's not by rushing smart, you rush Abuja High Court. Stop the allocation. What are you stopping the allocation? Is it the allocation meant for the chairman? It's for the grassroots development. It's for the empowerment of the people. So why are you stopping the allocation? What is the reason? It's in the interest of APC, the faction that never participated in the election.
Moving on now, the family of one of the victims of the helicopter that crashed last Thursday, Boris Ledum Ndobu, is demanding his body for proper burial. His son, Ledum Light, made the demand in an interview with newsmen. He said the news of the passing of his father was shocking and devastating. Boris Ledum Ndobu worked with Arian Energy, a subsidiary of the NNPC. As you may know, the helicopter took off from Port Harcourt with 8 people on board and crashed off the coast of Boni Fenima, River State, in the Atlantic Ocean. 3 bodies were recovered that day, and joint search efforts have continued ever since. And now on Sunday, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, said the 4th body of the crash victim has been recovered. NSIB spokesperson Bimbo Oladeji in a statement said a floating body was retrieved from the water and was escorted by the Cameroonian Navy to Nuis Antan for safe transit through their territorial waters. He said field operations identified the body by confirming the T-shirt worn matched the description provided. The NSIB said arrangements have been made with East Wind Aviation to deploy an air ambulance for the body's transport today. The Bureau said the Port Harcourt Marine Police have been informed to prepare for the arrival of the body. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, confirmed the recovery of another body. Now, the family of the landlord, Nyebuchieke, who died in police custody last year in Woji River State, is calling on the Department of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and the Attorney General of the state to revisit the case and thoroughly review the evidence. Recall that in November 2023, the landlord was involved in a rent dispute with a tenant who called the police on him. Nyebuchi was later found dead in an uncompleted building in Chokucho, Echi, far from the police division that arrested him. Lawyer to the Eke family, Ofumba Lawrence, in an interview said there are inconsistencies with the report given by the police and the autopsy report. He said the police report did not reflect the cause of Nyebuchike's death and failed to address the evidence provided in the statement given by the tenant.
Nyebuchi Eke was brutally assaulted, whereas the report of the police is suggesting that the Nyebuchi was drowned in the river. Now, the autopsy report and the report of the police, they are at variance with each other, which means that the report of the police is faulty. So we are calling on the Inspector General of Police, Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are also calling on the Commissioner of Police, River State Command, to please call for a further investigation on this particular matter.
Now, a video cited by our correspondent also showed the tenant involved in the matter accusing the police officers of hitting the late Nyebuchi.
It's the police that beat him and even carry his head hit on the tar road. And when he hit on the tar road, they take him to the police station alive. And the IPO received him alive. And they kept me aside. I did not know what happened to him again. The man was in the police station when I left there. I'm not the one that killed Nyebuchi. I cannot kill a suspect with the police. I can't do that. If it's something that I want to take into my hand, I will have fighting since. Because I need peace. That's why I seek the police to come and intervene. I did not fight any man.
Our correspondent cited an autopsy report dated 19th of December conducted by the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH, and signed by a medical officer, Musa Stephen. The report showed that the primary cause of late Nyebuchike's death was blunt force head trauma, while the secondary cause of his death was severe cerebral edema with contusions of the brain. The River State Police Command is here to speak on this. Still to come, SANU NASU begin indefinite nationwide strike over withheld salaries. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, have started an indefinite nationwide strike to demand the immediate release of their 4 months withheld salaries. In a statement co-signed by SANU President Mohammed Ibrahim and NASU General Secretary Peters Adeyemi, the two unions said it is appalling that despite several ultimatums issued to the government, no positive result has come from the government. Recall that on September 17, 2023, the Joint Action Committee of SANU and NASU handed the federal government a 3-week ultimatum to pay the outstanding withheld salaries of their members or risk an industrial action. Before now, the two unions staged several protests and warning strikes to protest their 8 months withheld salaries by the federal government. In a related development, the Delta State High Court in Warri has issued an order restraining the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) from implementing its recent policy pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice filed against the board. The policy requires a minimum admissible age of 16 years for university admissions in the country. JAMB, in a statement on October 16, said only candidates who will be 16 years old by August 2025 would be admitted to tertiary institutions. This directive was a follow-up to the new policy that the Ministry of Education introduced, which states the adoption of 18 years as the minimum age for admission into tertiary institutions. Dissatisfied with JAMB's directive, a former Nigerian Bar Association chairman, Warri Branch John Aipopo Martins, dragged the admission board to court. In other news, President spokesman Bayo Onanuga says President Bola Tinubu is not T-Pain, as nicknamed on social media. Speaking on Channels Television, Mr. Onanuga said President Tinubu is not unfeeling, as painted by some people on social media. He said the president feels the pain of Nigerians and has assured them that better days are nearer than before. He said President Tinubu has not come to inflict pain on Nigerians, but to repair the economy.
The president is aware that the citizens are going through some. The president does not read what is in the social media. I've seen people using that. Some people have also responded and they call the president a different name. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a non-issue. Some people just out of mischief saying somebody is a T-Pain. It's not T-Pain. The president has never shied away from telling Nigerians that he feels their pain and is working very hard to make sure that he gives them some relief so that things will get better. This country will enjoy more prosperity.
Away from that, the president of the Evangelical Church Winning All Equa International, Reverend Dr. Ayuba Job Bagat, was the guest of honor at the installation of the new executive of the Port Harcourt District Church Council on Saturday, 26 October 2024 at the Equa D-Line Church. The president, who was in the company of his wife, commended the leaders and members of the church in the Port Harcourt District and promised to foster greater relationships with the headquarters and agencies of the church. He said this while on inspection of the recently remodeled Challenge Bookshop building at Waterlines Junction on Aba Expressway. Reverend Dr. Bagat, on behalf of the church, also expressed appreciation to the Rivers State government for the enabling environment that has allowed the church and other religious institutions to thrive. And now to business. An egg distributor, Tosin Aremu, has attributed the rising price of eggs partly to reduced production during the rainy season. In an interview with our correspondent, Mrs. Aremu explained that chickens need a balance of water and sunlight to lay eggs, but the rainy season disrupts this balance, resulting in lower productivity. She added that some chickens have contracted diseases during this season, further decreasing egg production and consequently driving up prices.
Water and much fun.
Feed risen sharply from 7,000 naira to 26,000 naira.
About three factors. The major one is their feed. Feed prices become very high. We're buying less 7, later went to around 8, 9. So the bag of feed went to 13, 15,000. And currently now land that the bag of feed is around 26,000. So it will also apply their cost of production. Now, the cost of the hike in price of fuel also affected even the cost, because the millers need fuel and everything to run, and also transportation down to the farm. And also the farmer also needs to bear some of those losses, the cost. So fuel was there.
To address these challenges, agricultural economics expert Olufemi Adesobe urged the government to support poultry farmers by helping them access feed at lower cost. Professor Adesobe, a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt's Department of Agricultural Economics and Extensions, recommended measures to alleviate the financial strain on poultry farmers.
Basically, if government, our various governments, the federal government, the state government, the local government at the various levels could help poultry farmers access feed at very low cost. And one way they can do this is through bulk purchasing programs. They can also do this through subsidies. Anyway, if they subsidize the cost of feed, it will help a lot, because 70% of the cost of producing poultry generally goes for feed. So if they can subsidize and also help in bulk purchasing of feed and release to farmers at very reduced prices, that will help a lot, a great deal.
And now to entertainment. The director of Rivers International Film Festival, RIF, Kate Ezigbo, has commended Governor Siminalayi Fubara for maintaining peace in Rivers State. It comes as the 4-day film festival came to a successful conclusion on Sunday. In an interview with our correspondent, Ms. Ezigbo said investment in the
It's been 4 days of networking, screening movies, of giving back to the society. Lots of trainings went on, master classes, and each of these classes, people got to win cash prizes, gifts. River State is very peaceful. Heads of industries, other government parastatals, agencies. Please, you should try and explore the Nollywood industry. It is another gold mine. It is another crude oil. We must begin to start thinking about diversification. If you don't get revenues from the federal government, what happens to River State? In the states here, you have creatives. You can water down insecurity with entertainment.
On the spot, the state chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria and coordinator of RIF, Kenneth Osunwa, expressed gratitude to event partners and the River State government. Dr. Osunwa also rolled out plans for young creatives ahead of the 3rd edition of RIF.
We are making sure that the industry will experience boost in River State. River State filmmaking will turn around for good. We are going to encourage young producers, young directors to experience what is there in other countries of the world. We are going to bring synergy, we're going to bring a lot of innovations to supporting all filmmakers in River State, especially those who attended our workshop, those who attended our programs. We're going to support them all the way. Even those who receive our free medical, can you imagine 25 free surgeries? It's a high record one for a film festival. It can only be God.
Our correspondent reports that the organizers of RIF donated 1 million naira to the winner of the Best Overall Film Award on behalf of Governor Fubara. The governor also received an award for Best Nollywood-Friendly Governor. Amongst other categories, the winner of Best Indigenous Film Award received a plot of land from Chi 4 Properties. And now to sports. Super Eagles star and Atlanta striker Ademola Lookman says he is honored to be the only African footballer representing the continent at the prestigious Ballon d'Or ceremony in Paris today, 28th October.
And now we bring you news from around the world.